wants them to, if he wants to get out from under that burden, he can't continue to do the same thing over and over.
Go ahead, Kelly.
Let me ask y'all a question. The attorneys that are local, what is that, ProHawk or whatever they're doing? Are those what do you think those attorneys are going to do after this? Do you think that they will try to civilly or some type of way sue Tyrone for using,
No, no,
no?
I don't
Okay.
think so. And the reason why, and I'll let everybody else answer the question as well, so y'all get y'all answers prepared. Here's why I'm telling you, Kelly, I don't think that's going to happen. The last filing between Dwayne Youngblood and his new attorney pretty much explains to you where they're going with their case. They're neither confirming nor denying anything. They're pretty much throwing their hands up and saying, Your Honor, we don't know nothing. That's Dwayne Youngblood's new position in all of this, ladies and gentlemen. He don't know nothing. They can neither confirm nor deny anything. And that should send everybody up to a red flag, because the man is now saying he don't know nothing. They saying they can't confirm, they can't deny, they don't know absolutely nothing. And that should tell you on where they're going with their case. Their case is, Your Honor, please let us go. He don't want to file this no more. He's been and
Yeah.
y'all remember, wait a minute, y'all remember that Dr. Scrotum Sniffer done went over there on that other platform and told them people that Dwayne's been trying to get away from this case for a while now, but Tyrone didn't want to let it go. Y'all remember when he said that?
Yep.
Y'all remember when he said
Wow.
that?
Yeah.
So it's
That's
like, come on now, you all
kind
are
of shame.
playing. You're playing games. I'm gonna let everybody else respond to Kelly's question, and then I'll say, Daryl, you go first. What's your response to Kelly's question? What do you think about that?
I really don't know. Um, this whole thing got my head is hurting. Um, hmm. Go. You go first. I gotta think.
Okay, I'm gonna let Stephanie, your turn.
I think the legalities of a lawyer suing another attorney because of their bad behavior on a case in which they were involved, like two opposing counsels, right? Like one going after the other because of just, bad activity, against their client. I think the legalities of that are a little sticky because um, really the adversarial system is you're supposed to avenge your client through that lawsuit that's already been filed, right?
Yeah.
And the actual, like, I don't know what claim they would necessarily have against Tyrone because they were hired to do a job, they did it, they prevailed in the adversarial system, and so they don't really necessarily have a claim against them personally over activity that over a suit that was filed against a client they had. You know
No,
what I
I'm
mean? Like I
talking about.
can't, like if I the claim, like if, let's say you filed against filed a lawsuit against somebody over a car wreck that never happened. And so I represent the
Mm,
person who's accused of causing that car accident that never happened, and we go to court. And if I beat you, then that's the remedy, right? I just beat you, and I get the case. I get justice for my client. I don't really have a claim that you did anything to me in particular as the attorney. So that's kind of where that comes in, is that I beat you on the claim that you filed, but I don't necessarily have standing to bring a claim against you because I had to do attorney work or anything like that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're
Yeah.
saying, but it's
But
going to be
Marcellus, you know
difficult.
what I'm talking about, the local attorneys that allowed him to use their
The pro
name.
hoc vice, yeah, I agree. Well, those are the people now, Kelly, who are representing Dwayne Youngblood, because they've been representing Dwayne Youngblood from the beginning, but they've been quiet and silent because Tyrone was the attorney of record, okay, and because Tyrone Blackburn was the attorney of record. This is the only way I can explain it in our language. The white man was quiet and silent. The white man didn't say nothing. They was back there. The white man didn't say nothing. And y'all remember, I kept telling you guys when we kept reading them documents, I kept saying, what happened to the other attorneys signing off on Tyrone Blackburn's work? Because normally their names would be down listed at the bottom, CC, because he's using their license pro hoc vice, or so he has to go through their law firm in order to even represent Dwayne Youngblood. So I got really confused. And y'all remember, I kept saying, who's checking Tyrone Blackburn's work? I said, I don't think nobody's checking his work. I'm coming to you, Mary. And that has been what the case is. And I totally get what you're saying, Kelly. The problem is they're not new. They're his original attorneys. They just were in the background. The new people are saying, Kelly, we don't know what y'all talking about. What letter? What's going on? We can neither confirm nor deny anything. They went through the whole thing, Kelly, and said, we don't know about nothing about no letter. What lawsuit? What's going on? Who said what? We didn't say nothing. We can neither confirm nor deny any of this. That's what they literally said to the court and to the judge, Kelly. Because they're anticipating that being thrown out because Dwayne Youngblood wants to ride off into the sunset after all of this mess that him and these co-conspirators done caused.
Mm-hmm.
And this slows down TD Jakes' ability to get justice in this particular case. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not saying TD Jakes is innocent of anything. All I'm saying is, as it regards to the evidence and the information that has been presented in this case is some bull jive. Mary, you have the floor.
Hey guys. Okay, so I'm gonna go back real quick to reference the YSL stuff, and then I'm gonna come back to talk about the Pennsylvania people, the Pro Hoc Vitae people.
Okay.
So I think that the main difference, along to what you kind of just mentioned, we haven't even gotten to a trial.
Mhm.
So it wasn't that the violations that Tyrone did were during the actual trial. I also think that with the YSL case, being that the judge and everyone are from the Atlanta area, know everybody associated with YSL, whether it was from music, whether it was from whatever, and like how we know the judge had to be swapped out, blah, 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 blah. Everyone had to swap out because they all just knew each other. In this case, I feel as though this judge isn't necessarily a member of the Potter's house. So they're kind of new to it. They see, okay, we have one side claiming I'm broke, destitute, can't eat, whatever. And then we have multimillionaire, almost a billionaire, had the Wells Fargo deal gone through. I feel like since the beginning, that judge has been trying to be fair and give them the chance to even get the administrative part right. Because remember, it took a month to declare an attorney for him. They were filing responses and sending in letters and doing all this stuff before having even put an actual attorney on file.
Well, Mary, if we're gonna go there, then we have to interject this. That attorney was claiming he wasn't his attorney and was telling the other attorneys to pound
Pound
sand.
sand.
And then he turned
Mhm.
around and said, "Okay, Your Honor, I'm the attorney." And keep in mind that Tyrone Blackburn actually filed paperwork at one particular point asking the judge to give him attorney's fees, even though he was claiming that he was working pro bono.
Pro bono, right. So for me, I feel like the judge is trying to be fair because as soon as anything goes in Jake's favor, oh, the judge was bought off. Oh, the judge got a check.
Right.
Oh, the judge. So I feel like that's part of the reason why obviously Tyrone is just stalling the inevitable for himself. And of course, they're also trying to stall for the co-conspirators as they try to get their stuff in line, in order, whatever. I don't know. But on their side, it's a stall tactic. I think the judge is trying to cover their ass and be like, hey, I'm being fair. I have given you time after time. We are 6 months in. 8 months, 9 months. We're in September.
Are you kidding me? We've been dealing with this Tyrone Blackburn for almost a whole year.
No. I mean,
Mhm.
since the lawsuit, he
Yeah,
filed
that was
November or December.
That was November of
So
last
we're
year.
11 months in almost. Yeah. So we're 10 months in, and we haven't even gotten to discovery.
We hadn't got
I
to
do.
evidentiary value.
Yes. So I do feel like the judge is trying to, make sure that they are appearing as fair as possible. But I do feel that they are getting to the point where they're about to, like, this last response, and having went back to Protege or ChatGPT or whoever he used, the judge is probably at their wits' end with this one.
I know I would be.
Because how dare you pull this stunt within a week of telling me, or 2 weeks of telling me, you corrected everything by learning in your
And you
continuing
say you was
education.
remorseful. You said you demonstrated remorse and you wasn't
You
going to do it
groveled
again.
at the feet of the judge.
And according to TD Jakes' attorneys, you done did it again. You done
Right.
quoted law and misquoted the law and put the stuff in there again. Well, okay.
Yeah. And
Y'all,
so I feel like the judge needs to just dead it and say, look, you're lying. You're lying. Here is what your sanctions are. Here is what it is. I have been patient enough. We need to move this case forward. And I feel like the judge, they basically exuded as much patience and grace as they could for the poor, lonely, destitute people working pro bono, despite all the contradictions of being paid, not being paid. They're making sure that they are coming fair because they don't know these people from a can of paint. It's just their jurisdiction because that's where Youngblood is.
right.
Now, white people in Pennsylvania, like you said, we've been saying it since the very beginning. Who in the world just agrees to be the sponsor for an attorney that they haven't even researched?
Mm.
They clearly did not do the research on Tyrone himself,
Right.
let alone get details of the case. Because the thing is, even if Tyrone hadn't messed up all this stuff and is, getting sanctioned and stuff, what happens if he has a health emergency and he can't show up in court? Those attorneys need to be privy to the case regardless. Those attorneys should have always been involved, because what happens when you're on your way to the courthouse and that unfortunate car accident happens and you're stuck in traffic and whatever? Who is your backup, Tyrone?
Yeah.
Pennsylvania people should have been his backup. They clearly are not privy to the case. And as you said, they're going to pull we don't know nothing. It's hearsay. We cannot confirm or deny. This is just what he said. This is denied. All the things that they said
pretty
in
much
their
just said,
response.
Mary, and to answer your question, the bottom line for you, Kelly, Dwayne Youngblood's attorneys just simply say, Your Honor, we don't know nothing about what Tyrone Blackburn is talking about. We ain't seen no $6 million request letter. They have pretty much denied everything. They said they can't confirm nor deny. To them, they said there's no letter that even exists. There was no request. So in their mind, Kelly, they're saying we don't even know how we all got here.
Which proves they didn't even read the documents that are in the court records, because the letter is in the court documents.
Which is going to further delay justice. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I must say this to you all. This is an egregious display of using our court system to harm people's reputation, to ruin their business and their lives. And these co-conspirators and these people who are doing this stuff, while you're celebrating them, while you're going and cash apping them and celebrating all of this foolishness, what you don't realize what you're doing is you are literally ruining people's reputation with no proof whatsoever. And I know that in this generation now, it just seems like we have lost our value system. Even though I don't like TD Jakes, if you lying, you lying. If you don't have no proof, you don't have no proof. We done put this man in P. Diddy mess. We done put this man on all kinds of stuff in bedrooms and in all kinds of stuff that we have not been able to yet prove. And I don't even like him. I'm over here talking to you all and I don't even like TD Jakes. I respect some of the things that he's done. And I've even gone over this stuff with you guys as far as personally what I experienced with TD Jakes and when he came out on the scene. So this isn't personal. This is just what we're reading and what we understand and can comprehend. This is a mess. And if you out here on this internet and you are still attributing TD Jakes to P. Diddy and you are making these salacious claims, shame on you. Shame on you. Because right is right and wrong is wrong. Even if I don't like a preacher have disagreements with a preacher, I would never come out here and just say, oh yeah, he did this and he did. I would never do that. And what amazes me about some of you, these people can come out. There are people who can come out on the internet and make claims about being molested by certain individuals. And people will be all up in arms and standing up for those individuals and saying that everybody else is crazy for listening at the people who come forward and tell their testimony out of their own mouth. And you listen at other people make excuses for them, and you financially support them. And then when we come and show you and line up information from you, now we're the ones who are crazy. Now we're the ones who are off. Now we're the ones. And I don't know, maybe because I have crossed over a certain age group, you all have at it. Y'all have at it. And at the end of it, God is not going to be mocked. All of these people, I don't care what kind of black sand curses. I don't care how much you think you got a prayer life. I don't care how many ancestors you call from Africa. I don't care what you do. God is not going to be mocked. Whatever a man sows, that will he also reap. And you guys can keep playing and thinking that God don't have no workings in all of this. God is going to vindicate the truth. He's never going to stand on the side of the lie. He's never going to stand on the side of your favorite vlogger. He's never going to stand on the side of just people doing all of this foolishness. I'm just being as honest and as forthright as I can. The Bible says the wicked man seems to flourish in his ways, but the scripture says he will soon be cut off. All of these people look like they're flourishing. They got new memberships and they got Patreons and they look like they flourishing. Don't you guys get discouraged. I'm going to encourage you right now. Don't you get discouraged, because even though these people seem like they flourishing, God is not going to let these people get away with it, because sooner or later the truth has to show up. And let me tell you, the truth is a person. Jesus said, I just want to say, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Jesus is all day, everyday truth. He will never live in a lie. He will never surround himself with a bunch of people who allow themselves to live in a lie. You can dislike me all you want to. You can hate the sound of my voice. You can hate my platform. You can call me mad cow disease. You can call me Stewie. You can call me every name in the book, but you listen at me. God is not going to be mocked. Whatsoever you have sown, you are also going to reap. That is my final statement. I'm going to go to Stephanie. You all give me your final comments and we're going to wrap this up and we're out of here, because I feel myself getting tremendously pissed off. Stephanie, it is now your time to speak.
I want to just second and amen everything you just said, because as an attorney, I'm really flabbergasted at how, and it's not just this case, and it's not just what Tyrone Blackburn has done historically. There's a lot of exploitation of the public's sympathy for sexual abuse victims. There's a lot of we're being exploited by people who make salacious and false claims, because it appeals to our empathy, but it also appeals to our, I hate to say this, but it appeals to our sort of base, our reptilian brain, because we have a reaction to salacious sexual claims. We just do. That's the humankind. And those are sort of appealing. People aren't filing false claims about getting their ass whooped, they're not filing false claims about, somebody breaking into their house. They're filing these kinds of, they're making these kinds of claims because it appeals to our empathy, but it also appeals to our reptilian brain, that it kind of it makes it a more attractive, more, that kind of thing attracts more public attention. It attracts more, it gets people going. It really revs our engines up. And I think that the public's being exploited by these because of how we will jump to, take sides on it. We will jump to cover it. We'll jump to have opinions about it, and we'll jump to destroy people's lives if we are persuaded that the person making this report is telling the truth, which often we don't put our thinking brains on to actually examine and have discernment on these kind of claims. And like I said, part of it is because of our empathetic nature, part of it's because our reptilian brains, we just don't sit here and think it through, that this actually, does this actually make sense? We have to treat these kind of claims just as we would treat a burglary or a robbery or anything else. Does it make sense? Does it sound like it could be true? And if it doesn't matter if it's about sex. It doesn't matter. we still have to apply the same kind of reasoning, the same kind of due diligence, the same kind of discernment to these type of claims. In this instance, people who are supporting this just haven't done that. They haven't done that, and it's we're not the crazy ones. We're not the ones who hate victims. We're not the ones who are just thinking, people should be able to get away with this. Not at all. Not at all. We have to listen to victims, but we don't necessarily have to believe every single case if it doesn't make sense. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
So
And
that's
this doesn't make sense, and it hasn't made sense. Kelly G, I'm
right.
coming to you.
Thank you guys for having me up.
Now, thank you for coming, Stephanie. Don't you go anywhere just yet, Stephanie. Stay put. Kelly G, go ahead. Go ahead. Make your final comments, because I got to get out of here before my head explodes.
I definitely agree with everything Stephanie just said, because when you think about it, we were at a point where victims were finally starting to be believed. We had the Me Too movement, all the girls in the U.S. Olympics gymnast situation with that doctor who were assaulting them all those years. All of this stuff was happening, and we felt like women victims, male victims, whoever was being believed finally. And now you have Tyrone Blackburn and that other one who keeps on doing these crazy, salacious, egregious stories. And it's like the evil people who are really doing things, now they're gonna have to look at what they did to this person. They're lying. Now the people who are really doing things have like something to kind of say, well, look at what happened to Fat Joe. He didn't do anything. But now you're giving an excuse to real perpetrators.
Absolutely.
I didn't do it. Look at what all these other people went through. So it's kind of like this stuff. I hate that it happened, because we were getting to a place where people understood these type of assaults, what it looked like. They supported victims. Victims could speak out. And we were getting to a place of healing, I think, across the world. And now this stuff has just made it worse. And,
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, that's what I wanted to say and end on that. And y'all have a great day.
You do the same. And I appreciate you coming up and having the boldness to come up here, Kelly, and say your piece. Your opinions are respected. I appreciate you coming up. Just know that.
I
And
used to come up there when y'all had the 18 back in the day, a little bit here and there.
and I appreciate you. I do. I really do appreciate you. Let me see. I know. Let me go to Daryl, because I know he's getting ready to go to work, and then I'm gonna let Mary we'll polish out this whole thing. Go ahead, Daryl. Go for it.
I see this not ending well for Blackburn or Youngblood. And if they don't come into court and tell who was the mastermind behind all of this, who was the money behind all of this, they're going to go down and fall on the sword, and they're going to be in a lot of trouble. The more Blackburn talks, the more he writes stuff, the more he gets in trouble. If you notice in all of this, in the last couple of months, Youngblood has not said anything publicly. It's like he just vanished. So you got young Blackburn out here running his mouth. You got other people running their mouth, but nobody has heard Youngblood say a word. And I have a strong suspicion that when this finally gets to discovery and all the other parts, he's going to flip and tell everything he knows and ask for them to cut him a deal.
Yeah, because he's on the hook for possibly going back to jail, y'all. That's what people are not understanding. They're not understanding. That man's out on parole. He's not free. Okay, so this kind of stuff coming up, and then they're going to be a heavy price to pay. But thank you, Daryl. Get yourself prepared for work. I know you got to go. Peace out to Daryl Moore. Shout out to Daryl Moore in the chat, everybody. Thank you for stopping by. Cigar Vlogger, we appreciate you, brother. You know I do. Mary, go ahead.
Good to see you, Daryl.
Go ahead and make your comments, and you tell me what you thinking, Mary, because I tell you one thing. Yeah, this is a mess.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, I'm gonna sound like a broken record. I don't think anybody is in the clear, no matter how passionately or eloquently or enthusiastic we speak about something. Or if people are so-called in works or in talks and doing this. The smartest thing I think for Youngblood to have done right now is to be quiet, which he should have stayed quiet and never done the interview in the first place. But I do feel as though we always hear so and so is talking to so and so. And why, if all these potential legal conversations you're having behind the scenes, why are they being brought to any platform, whether it's behind your paid membership or what have you? We are constantly taking away from the victims, as we've always said, to piggyback off of both Stephanie and Kelly. You know, we were finally making strides in people getting their justice served, and then the opportunists inserted themselves in it. They see someone with a big bank and they wanted a check, and
Exactly.
they just won't admit it. So yeah, we just need to get back to focusing on the real victims and just realize nobody is in the clear, because if I'm having legal discussions with anybody, I'm not telling anybody, private community or not.
Correct. And if you haven't, how are you having legal discussions with somebody? This is just my opinion. And you were listed in the document as co-conspirator number one. Logic would tell me, y'all need to think about this stuff. Why would the attorney on the other side come to you when they listed you as co-conspirator number one? Does that make any sense to you all? Use your reasoning skills. That don't even make any sense to me, unless they were coming to you to ask you to fess up and to tell what your part of the situation was. You understand what
And
I'm
not
saying?
well, and to be clear, it wasn't outlined whether it was the attorney for sure who reached out to the platform or if it was someone from the team, because it kept getting flip-flopped, someone from the team versus someone from the
Which is just
versus
to confuse the people on the internet. That's why I
exactly.
don't listen to them. And I'm just going to repeat it to you again. I'm saying is either one way or the other. I'm not saying that TD Jakes is innocent. I don't know how many times I'm going to have to say this. I don't know, but I'm talking about as it relates to the information that has been presented to us thus far. We have not seen anything, nor have they proven anything. So all I've seen them do is try to add additional people into their case to bolster their case or claim towards TD Jakes, but none of those people have any proof of what they're saying. I can say that the Easter Bunny hopped from my living room into my kitchen and I saw his cotton bushy tail all day long.
Not Peter Cottontail hopping through the house.
I'm just saying, hip hoppity hopping, it won't stop.
Hey, bebop. But and not only that, but the like he said in his own words, the one who is still alive that actually violated and physically successfully violated him has not gotten a case drawn against him. And why? Because TD Jakes has the bigger paycheck. There was no actual commencement of acts with Jakes, but he is pursuing Jakes and not pursuing the one who actually commenced in a act to completion, from my understanding of the story. Let's be clear, y'all.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to some Pooh Corner, Stephanie. Christopher Robin and
Oh,
I
I love
want to
Winnie
know.
the Pooh.
Let me tell you something. I got to go listen to some Winnie the Pooh, some I got to go calm myself and calm my nerves, because this is disturbing to its core and it gets down in your spirit and you can feel the wickedness of this. This is wicked, you all. This is more spiritual than it is anything. The Bible says, and the Bible says we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against powers and principalities and wickedness in high places. This is a demon that we are dealing with, you all. And this demon is something else. And he thinks he's going to win. He thinks he's going to win, but God is going to ultimately win. And I'm so done with this. I'm so done with this, Stephanie. I don't have nothing else to say. I don't know if you got
I
anything
hear
else
you.
to say, but I'm
I
finished.
sure don't. I
All
sure
right.
don't. I sure
Ma-
don't.
Mary,
Oh,
thank you guys for joining me. Stephanie, Daryl,
thank
Kelly,
you.
G, thank y'all for coming up. All I'm gonna tell you all at the end of the day is use your brain. Stop just letting people tell you they got some information, but the only way you can get it is to come behind their paywall to get it. Now, I understand if they want to come to the private membership and discuss some personal things that they don't want to put out into the public. That I get, because I've done that. I get that. But come on, guys. What do you think this person can offer you that you don't already know? Look at this case. This case is a disaster on every kind of level. If this case was in Mel's diner, Alice would have already told Mel to kiss her grits. This would have been done.
Right.
This would have been done. Use your brain. That's all I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. And it don't take a rocket science to figure if somebody's lying in this whole situation. And I see, let me tell you what I see and I sense in my spirit. Not too many days hence from now, because now all of these people are scrambling. They're scrambling behind the scenes. That's why now they're throwing Cora Jakes and they're throwing this convicted SA offender into this case. You know why? They're throwing anything and everything at this situation to work behind the scenes to see what they can come up with to bolster their claim and to work something out. But let me tell you, I don't normally do this, but I rebuke every single one of you. I rebuke every one of you. And I want to tell you, and you listen to my words very carefully, not too many days from the sound of my voice, God is going to handle and take care of you. And you're going to see it. And when God comes for you, then you know you've been got. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. Please make sure that you hit the like button and please make sure that you subscribe to the channel and make sure you hit the bell icon and make sure you press all notifications so that way you will never miss any of the exclusive content that comes on my channel. Make sure that you never miss a video. Now, I try to go live every day about 2:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is about 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. And then I come back at night at around 8:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is about 10:30 Eastern Standard, with some more exclusive content. So if you want more Mad Church Disease show content, we love for you to become a member, a revolutionary member of our channel. Please make sure that you hit the join button that's right next to the subscribe button or somewhere around here so that you guys can receive access to special community posts. You guys get all of the access to my community only lives, because we've got some sipping chats that we're going to be doing, and you guys will get exclusive content. So just make sure that you head on over to the channel page, click on the join button, and make sure that you do that. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate your love and support, and I'll see you on my very next video.
We are Mad Church Disease, helping you understand that Jesus plus nothing is everything. This is a show for everyone, believers and non-believers, from churched to the unchurched. Help us grow the channel by supporting our non-profit causes and create more consistent content. Donate by Cash App or PayPal, or buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com.